the internet. Sometimes you gotta adjust them because what they say may not work for you. So this is dough right here. I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer just to make sure it's good and tough and, you know, not like water. So I'm beating off my spoon and I'm still trying to do stuff. Which is dumb of me, but hey, here we are. I don't have anything to scrape this over with. I don't want to waste any of this. But it's definitely looking doughy. Like I said, a few more minutes. And then I can get it out and we can definitely go from there. Alright. Let's see what we got. Alright. We're going to go for it. Okay. Hopefully this works. That's our first dough. Wow. Well, it definitely did say add more flour to it, so guess what we gotta do? Now I got a mess. Oh well. Alright. So, I'm gonna add more flour to this. don't want it to be like water. I keep adding flour to it, but it's not, I don't know. But I do know it has to proof. So hopefully right now it's just a mess. And I don't like it. I'm not feeling it at all. What's that though? That's it. I'm not a professional baker. I am a mess maker. So we're going to grab this and this. This looks like something off of a horror movie, if I'm being honest. It just literally looks like something off of a horror movie. Should title this video, How to Mess Up a King Cake. Alright. So that didn't exactly work the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to grab some parchment paper. I'm going to put some flour down. And I'm going to put heavy flour down. Okay? And this, you're supposed to turn this over. Alright? Alright. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to put this flour back in here. I'm going to rinse this bowl out, re-oil it, because it just needed more flour. See? Sometimes you can figure it out. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth. So, so it needed flour, more flour. For the cake that size, or king cake, yeah. For king cake that size, I would think that you would need more flour. It's at about 5.5 cups. But I'm just telling you, speaking from experience, because I used to make biscuits from scratch, that dough was way too soft. So now, this dough can go in, be transferred, rolled around in that oil a little bit. This dough, now that it's looking better, can be transferred. It can be rolled around in the oil. I may have to put a little more oil in there, and that's okay if we have to. Need to keep it handy. I'm going to put some more flour down. And we're going to keep it going. Alright. I'm going to add flour into this. And this needs to be firmer. It's very soft right now. Dough should be, like I said, I'm not really a bread maker, but I have made bread before. I've made homemade biscuits. And when it's like runny soup, you got a problem. So you're just going to keep adding flour into it. Just to give it that nice, hard, tough consistency that it needs. And there you go. That's kind of, I think, what we're looking for. Because now it's warm enough to where you can do what you need to with it, and it's not going to fight with you. It's not pure liquid. And I'm going to add a little oil on top of that. And this is going to be the last go. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator, I think, for about an hour and a half. Since, yeah, it says damp cloth or plastic wrap, let it rise in warm place. Oh, no, you don't put it in the refrigerator. When risen, punch down, divide in half. So we're going to let it proof here in the kitchen because it's warm in the kitchen. I'm going to give it 2 hours because, you know, why I'm giving it 2 hours, I'm going to step forward and make the glaze and stuff. And that will be a part 2. And I probably need to clean this kitchen. It's got to have that doughy, and I should, you know, my husband taught me, his grandmother taught him to put oil on your hands when you're messing with anything that's kind of goopy like. And I should have done that. Like when you do hamburgers and you're combining all the hamburger stuff together. I'm going to get all this flour in there. I need it to soak all this flour up. What I just didn't make a mess I want it to have that little extra kick of flour to it. So I'm going to pull it apart a little bit. Try to get it to soak up some of this flour. And it's just pressing it down with my hand. Working it through to soak up this flour. Because baby, we don't waste around here. Okay, this is still a little doughy. So again, we'll find a little bit of flour here. This one's feeling a little doughy. So we're gonna take some flour in that. Bring that dough to the consistency you're looking for. And that's about right. Now we're going to roll it into the other of that oil. And now we got the little baby one. And it goes in. And it gets rolled into the oil. Now, my nose is itching, of course. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little oil on the top to make sure that oil gets saturated through there. As soon as I get my hands cleaned up. Alright, so I'm going to pour a little oil in there. And then I'm going to cover it with a wet paper towel. I'm going to set a timer for 2 hours. Let it proof. And go from there. So, and get this kitchen cleaned up because I don't like the way it looks. Alright, it said with a wet cloth. I don't have one handy. So, I'm going to wet a paper towel. It's going to proof here in the kitchen, on the kitchen table. I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, and I'll see y'all for a part 2. Alexa, set a timer for 2 hours.
2-hour timer started.
See y'all in a little bit.